Hey, Jason, have you been on a vacation lately? Just seems like that's the theme of our podcast.
Boy, my wings are tired.
Is this the thing that you do?
Oh,
You don't listen to our podcast.
I do not
kick
listen
off
to
with
our
Jason's
podcast.
camping trip.
Jeremy,
How tired he is.
I refuse to listen to our podcast.
Guys, it's
I don't know if that's true, Jeremy.
I
I think
enjoy
you're
them.
lying to me.
viewers at home. How many?
Yes, I was on a vacation.
Yeah, actually, you were.
If you
just,
can call it a vacation.
it's been a few weeks. You got back from
it's been a while.
cruise ship.
It was the week after Christmas. Before Christmas?
Before
After
Christmas.
Before
After.
Christmas.
Before.
Before Christmas.
It was before.
The week before. Yeah, with the whole family and dad.
And?
Not a vacation. They loved it. Everybody asked me, how was it going on a cruise with your family? And I said, they had fun.
I really enjoyed cruises. We got to do the Bluegrass cruise, perform on it a few times. I had my honeymoon on a cruise. I kind of like that your meals are there if you want the nice meals, and they have really good food, like lobster and some really nice dinners. And then just whenever you want to just drop by one of the cafes or something, there's food. You can go do lots of things on the ship. You can get off the ship.
It's all about food with you.
No, I'm going on with other things. You can do things. It's 24 hours. There's stuff going on.
No, it was great. And next time we're going to do another one, I'm sure. A couple. My wife loves cruises, so I have to do them, even if I didn't like them. But we'll do it again. And it was great, like you said, because you're all contained. The kids had so much to do. They learned to surf, or boogie board. They climbed walls. They played games all the time. They had this cool thing now that on cruises is a new thing with rubber duckies that are hidden all over the ship. So that became a quest for my kids.
Kind of like the Jeep thing?
Yeah, kind of like that. No, it's not like that. Oh, those they give them to each other, but these are ones they hide all over the ship. And so that was fun. It was great. Dad had a great time, I'm sure. The whole family thought it was the best thing in the world. There's nothing wrong with them. Cruises are fine.
It's just trying to corral children in general can be mentally exhausting.
And in fact, if you want me to represent cruises, Royal Caribbean or Norwegian,
it didn't work for Dr. Pepper. Don't think you're getting a
leave
cruise
it open.
sponsorship here.
I'm gonna leave it open. We got Celebrity; those are great. We got Virgin. We got Disney cruises.
Now you're just listing all the
really great Disney cruises. If you want to have a family of 5 or 7,
you have 7
kids fall off of those.
Me.
They fall off of all of them. You
so
guys,
if you want
because
to
of your
sponsor
cruise.
A cruise,
Oh, go ahead.
so then you can,
Because of your cruise, I told my oldest daughter this year is her graduation, and
Fingers crossed.
Yeah, that's we're expecting
This year
it
is
to happen.
supposed to be her graduation.
So we promised her had like this high school trip that they were going to do, and it was going to cost me like $3,000. And I'm like, you know what we'll do? Let's go on a special senior trip. We just go out on our own vacation. We'll save that money and we'll have us a real vacation. And now, because of you guys, she says that she has to go on a cruise. I'm not as much of a fan.
I know you complain about them, but they're great.
I'm not saying
they're
bad.
better than I don't know.
I think I'm going to have a great time.
There's some benefits to having an all-inclusive resort, but there's a lot of benefits to cruising.
I agree.
And you know what? I think I have to go balcony from now on.
That's what I heard.
It made a big difference. We didn't have to go on the top and deal with the peasants. We can go out and visit. We could look at the things. We could go see things on the ocean without joining the lower class as you would.
I think that what she explained to me, and my daughter was like all about this, and I understand after she said it, I was like, I get it. Going different nights, different country, different place, going out and experience something even different every single day, that I think is what is appealing to her. I'm old though, guys, and I gotta say,
I like waking up. I like waking up and it's already like docked in a new port.
You know, you
just wake up and it's like, oh, we're in a new country. This is the
first cruise that we experienced docking in the middle of the day, which was
overnight, and then you just wake up and it
was noonish. Yeah, as I was telling the kids, I said you only wake up and you're in port, but it was like noonish and we were pulling in, which was fun. It was cool to see it coming. We'd stand on the balcony. Look it up. If we're going to talk about cruises as much, we really should get something. So Royal Caribbean, if we're going to endorse cruises as much.
Actually, let me put this out to our listeners out there. How many of you would attend a Acoustic Shoppe cruise?
Don't even get my wife started.
You guys can all join us a week with the Acoustic Shoppe crew.
There's nothing that sounds more miserable than vacationing with you guys. There's nothing in my mind that says, oh,
a Acoustic Shoppe cruise without John. That sounds even more pleasant the more you speak.
Yeah, I like it.
It sounds good. Right. I'm good.
Podcast, guys. We're here to talk. Thank you for
Jeremy,
tuning.
Have you been on a
Thank you for tuning into the Vacation Planning Channel, where we help you choose.
How was your vacation?
I don't get vacations.
You went to Colorado.
That was like
a few months ago.
July?
May is when May.
Was it May?
And I think we've talked about that in a couple of podcasts already. So move on, sir. I get one a year. You get 1,000.
1,000?
Yeah. Well, you
I
just go
haven't been
camping
on a
every
vacation
weekend.
for 3 years.
You go camping every
I am
weekend.
going on a vacation here soon. Did you know that, guys?
I heard.
Forgot to tell you. I also have jury duty on Monday. I forgot to tell you guys that this morning. Apparently, I'm going to have to. Hopefully, they call me again in the morning. Yeah. I'm going to show up like a crazed lunatic.
I think you did it.
Yeah. Everybody's guilty.
Sir, this is a bank fraud.
Everybody's
charge.
guilty in the eyes of the Lord. I'm going to come with the Bible. Anyway, no, we are going to go. Apparently, we're going to do the same thing with Dad, but we're going to the Smithsonian, I think, on spring break. I got to put my time in.
I'll just hope the government's not shut down next time you get there,
hopefully
because it
not.
was when I was there.
I'd hate for them to
What happens
cancel
if I'm
that.
gone on spring break too?
Guys, can we please not?
We're not going to the same
plan
place.
our job schedule here. Like the listeners are here because we have special guests that they want to hear from, not to hear you guys quibble about who gets vacation.
But he was
time.
on a cruise, so we're going to talk some about
Full
that. I'm
circle.
certain. Ashby Frank, been a long time. Our childhood, his childhood friend. Grew up. He's been doing some amazing things in the world of music, just music in general.
He is a musical renaissance man.
Is that really what he is?
No.
All right. There you go. Why did you say it if it's not what he
I
is?
don't know.
That's very strange of you,
I don't
Jay.
know.
But he does lots of music, and he's been in all kinds of bands, so he's going to have lots of good stories to talk about. I look forward to it. Ladies and gentlemen, the Acoustic Shoppe knows Ashby Frank.
Take me away, 'cause I can be the way. Let somebody was letting go and I can't have my way.
Ashby Frank, our oldest and dearest friend, Ashby Frank, has joined us.
Like most long-standing friend. He's not the oldest friend we have. There's some old people we know.
yeah,
Yeah, you
He's
know
younger
Greg
than all of
Cahill.
us.
He's like 109, I think. Somewhere in there.
least.
We wouldn't call him a friend.
oldest friend, not our oldest friend. How do I fix that?
You don't.
You know grammar, don't you,
A friend we've
Ashby?
known for the longest.
We're all homeschooled. What are we talking about here?
When did we meet Ashby Frank?
I don't know. It was a long time ago.
I was trying to think about this
It
last
would have
night.
been
So
like 1999 or 2000, right?
I remember meeting you the year that recording came out, where you
So I
got all
started
the
making
incredible
that when I was
players.
15. And I finished it when I was 16. So that would have been 99, 2000, something like that. Yeah.
Okay, so right around that 98 to 2000 is when we met him.
'Cause I already knew y'all whenever I won the Spigma thing, whatever you call it. What do you call it? The band contest? Yeah.
Let's see. Yeah.
International Band Championship of the Universe.
Okay, so you were in that contest too. Then I don't
You
remember
were a
this, so-
judge, John.
and you won.
Must have been great. Who did
It
you
was
play?
you and James King and
Well, that explains it right there. I was just sitting next to James. We were just cracking jokes the whole time.
Mhm.
Not
I'm
paying
sure there's
attention
like
to
two or three of the
anything going on.
Collins brothers were
Yeah.
judges too.
That's
So
Was that the band that Cody Kilby was in that you were?
no, it
Who-
was me
who
and
was in
Jeff
that?
Davis and Becky Buller and Matthew Norton.
Yeah.
yes.
And,
I
uh,
remember this now.
Yeah.
I remember it. Yes, it was a good time.
was
Those
fun.
of you guys who have not been to the Spigma convention, it is the Society for the Prevention of Bluegrass Music in America.
preservation,
Oh,
John?
preservation. That's what I meant.
Can you really call it a
The-
convention? It's just a jam session.
It's a big
essentially.
giant hotel jam session, and they have a international band competition, which we entered, like I said, in '98, and sounds like in 2000, Ashby did too.
Apparently,
Apparently,
Even though
How'd you do?
John was a judge and doesn't even remember even being there or knowing me.
yeah.
I actually remember you from before that because I remember
Yeah.
when you were we were goofing off. First time I met you was at IBMA. You were hanging a lot with our good friend Gina Britt, and at that time she was with Lou Reed, and I think you might have been even playing some fill-in shows with
I
Lou.
was some.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Mhm.
And I said,
How did
"Man,
that work? You both play mandolin.
Even after Gina left, Jeff Davis played banjo and I played mandolin, and Kim Gardner played dobro, and Randy Barnes played bass for a couple shows.
Yeah. So Ashby's been in this business for a long time. At that time, like you said, you were what, like 16
Yeah.
years old, somewhere in there. That's
Yep.
what I thought.
But
And
all this has been to find out when we became friends with Ashby. I got to say, for the first few years, I just thought he hated me. I was like, this guy's making fun of me to himself when I'm around. Like, you intimidated me. I'm not
Well,
sure.
that's what I would wanted to say is me and Ashby have a similar
Demeanor,
disposition,
disrespect.
disrespect for humanity. We were very, especially when I was younger and he was younger, we had very sarcastic attitudes. And
he grew out. Yeah, I was going to say, you grew out of yours, didn't you?
Hey,
Not at all.
Not at all. But then went to playing with a whole bunch of other people. So much music. Originally from North Carolina. Correct me on all this stuff because I'm
gonna read his bio. Son of a senator.
No.
No.
I think it was a judge of some
just
sort.
joking. I don't really know anything. I met your mom. She made us food backstage at Denton. I met your dad once, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, my dad's the district attorney. You're close.
I was
Yeah,
close.
He still is, by the way. He's the eldest currently serving and I think longest tenured district attorney in the state of North Carolina. He's retiring after the election next year, so he's not
Good for
running. He's
him.
not running for re-election. But yeah, he's.
What were his thoughts on the charges against O.J. Simpson?
I'm sure he thought
Justified?
he was guilty. Yeah.
We're throwing back to the pre-roll discussion that we had with Ashby.
Yeah.
Thank you, Johnny. Throw back to things that aren't even going to be in the edit. Way to go.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Inside.
So yes, young guy starts playing with lots of great musicians.
Well, we were just talking
I've
about
tried
family.
to do this four times now.
We were just talking about family
Why
history,
are we
but I'm
fighting?
curious, did anyone in your family play music? Your dad was a district attorney.
My mom's a
Your
music
mom?
teacher and was the organist and pianist in the church that I grew up in. I grew up in kind of an old school Lutheran church. Grew up in a very German part of North Carolina, hence the Frank.
Mhm.
We were Franks, actually. Apparently it changed over time. But
They
anyway.
got sued by the hot dog company.
So by organist, she went around the county and collected organs.
Yes.
She
for
said
donation?
pianist.
Yes.
He said
I
pianist.
said
He said
organist,
organist
as well.
and pianist.
Yeah. So yeah, she
But how
taught.
did bluegrass get into there?
Pianist is an organ.
She,
Can we apologize to our guests and to our viewers?
Oh, Lord. Starting over now. And start.
Freaking Jason thinks he's Groucho Marx.
Come on.
that was really good, though. I have to say,
It was a good one.
That was good.
All right.
Yeah.
Let's get back on track.
So you say a pianist and an organist.
Walk into a bar. All right.
So how did that translate to bluegrass music? Where did
Yeah,
that come in?
where's-
Where did the mandolin come into your world?
And actually, even on my dad's side, my granny, she sang in a quartet with her sisters. My great grandfather was like a quartet leader on my dad's mom, and then my dad's first cousin was Terry McMillan, perhaps one of the most famous. What do you say, harmonicist?
Yeah, it fits right up there with pianist and organist.
Harmonicaist? Harpist. Yeah.
Mouth
Mouth
harpist.
harpist.
All right. All right now. And 3, 2, 1, start.
Serenity now. Serenity now.
I give.
Terry McMillan was my dad's first cousin. He was a great harmonica player. We'll go with.
I like it.
And so, yeah, I kind of get it on music from both sides of my family. And there was a gentleman named Lynn Presnell in the church that I grew up in that while my mom was like leading choir practice and getting ready for, this is like on Wednesday nights or whatever, he would teach. He started me out on guitar, and then he was actually more known as a mandolin player. And so he kind of just had it whenever I would take lessons there. And I just picked it up from there. And I don't know. I wanted an electric guitar for Christmas, and I got a mandolin instead, and here I am.
What was your reaction unboxing
I
this
was gonna
electric?
say,
Look at my little electric guitar.
No, that's kind of where they just kind of noticed that I took to playing the mandolin. I still play guitar a ton, mostly country sessions and things, or artists that I back up or doing solo shows. But yeah, I'm just kind of fell in love with playing the mandolin, and it's what I started doing, and never really thought about doing anything else, sadly.
And of course, you had, I'm assuming, quite a bit of access to quite a bit of players that were in that area, because there's a lot right in the area where you were from.
Yeah, I grew up in just west of the dead center spot of the state of North Carolina, and so Kentucky's a bluegrass state because of Bill Monroe and the all that. But North Carolina has had just like a huge outsized importance as far as bluegrass musicians and people that grew up there or were born there. I grew up getting to pick with folks like Jim Van Cleve, and you mentioned Gina Britt, Greg Luck, Kim Gardner, Clay Jones, Steve Dilling, Alan Purdue, even Wayne Benson was from pretty close by to where I'm from. Alan Bobby was from just north of where I grew up, and so yeah, it's just so many great musicians from that area. And as I got a little bit older and started going to jams, and Raleigh's kind of a hotbed. A couple hours east, folks like Jim Mills from there, and even Tony Rice kind of grew up in north central North Carolina in the Rockingham area. So like all those great, of course, Oral Scruggs is from North Carolina as well. So North Carolina is like the second bluegrass state, I guess. But yeah, tons of jams and fiddlers conventions. During the winter. In the end, in the fall and summer, even there was a whole string. Almost every weekend, there would be within an hour or two drive. And luckily, my parents were willing to go and listen to those contests and take me to those fiddlers conventions all over the state. There were in February and March and April. They were almost every weekend, and then come the late summer and fall, same. I'd go to Galax and Mount Airy and Elk Creek and all these different huge. Where I'd obviously lots of old time mountain music. That's kind of considered the Galax, Virginia is kind of considered the capital of at least that region's mountain music. And so I got to hear a lot of that. And of course, North Carolina bluegrass is highly influenced by that kind of very aggressive, old time, downbeat style. And everybody, I've seen where people have written theses on MASH or whatever they call it. That kind of North Carolina style of bluegrass. A lot of people, credit it to rock influence, which I'm sure there's some of that, but so much of it comes from Galax and Mount Airy style old time. So that was a huge influence.
I can see that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes perfect sense to me.
When you would go to these, was it most to jam, or did you enter some of the contests?
Oh, I would enter all of them, and either have a pickup band, or I played in a couple local and regional bands there in my kind of early teens, 13, 14, 15 years old, and then I would compete. And this is before most of them, or I think probably any of them, even really had like a junior they would division. I think there was only one in Union Grove that would split it up like that. But and honestly, as I got a little bit older, I hated whenever I had to compete in the junior division. But yeah, I would compete and made a lot of friends. Like I mentioned, Jim Van Cleve, Nate Leith, all so many folks that I still, and even as I got a little bit older, of course, I would compete against. You mentioned Cody Kilby and Matt Wingate and folks like that from Tennessee, and Matt's from Alabama. But yeah, so yeah, it was a great way to kind of get over. I was shy, nervous kid. I'm still nervous. I'm not all that shy anymore. But that was a great way to kind of get used to being on stage. My sister was in musical theater the whole time I was growing up, and I saw her up there, and I was just like, that was never I've never wanted to be the guy, under big spotlights and all this stuff. I just wanted to play and create. And she was always about, wanting to be on the stage, and I never did, but it was kind of a good way to break the ice of going up there, in line. You'd just seen, 30 other mandolin players do it. And I've always told, whenever I used to teach private instruction, or I still teach camps across the country today. And I tell people, it's a good way to get over some stage fright, because, you're going to hear all skill levels and no one's really judging. No one's really judging. Well,
most judges don't remember who was on the stage before,
like John
years later.
Yeah. But yeah, that was really how I got into it. And the community around that is really what drew me in, to bluegrass as far as just like not being just a fan of the records and the people that I was listening to, but like seeing how tightly knit the community really was, and getting to know friends, mostly a little bit older than me, and some 10 or 15, 20 years older than me that I've still been able to keep up with to this day.
Yeah, I remember that when I was a kid. I did quite a bit of fiddle contests and stuff, and it was funny because there was a competition going on, but I don't think most of us took it all that serious. We wanted to play, and we kind of had fun just hanging out with each other.
Mm-hmm. And the parents are totally different.
Yeah,
the parents were the ones competing.
Once I got a little bit older, it was that, but it was really kind of important to me to at least think that I was doing okay. Because there's so much, so many of those fiddlers conventions, the same people win it every year, and it's kind of just an assumed, oh, this person's from here, so they're going to win this and that. You kind of started to understand, the politics of it. But it was just a great, as you mentioned, like at Galax. Of course, the first Galax is so big. It's kind of there's Weezer, there's Winfield, and there's Galax. It's kind of the big three across the country, and the first time I won that, it was a really big deal to me, and I think I was 14 or 15. So it was like that once I did that, as I got a little bit older and could hang out in the campground and start going to jams by myself and walking around, until 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning. That's what it was all about. Like you said, it was about, the camaraderie and meeting people and hearing all these different people who come from all over the world. And so you get to hear, a whole selection of stuff that you didn't hear maybe at your local jam or at the local, the smaller fiddlers convention that you had been to. Mm-hmm. So yeah, that was such a huge integral part in how I kind of fell into this music.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but wasn't there a time period when you were also taking on stuff like Dulcimer and some of these other instruments just for the heck of it? Just to do it?
My mom recently teaches kinder music, or did. And a part of kinder music is they make their own Dulcimer. And then she had like one that was like the example of what they were trying to make out of like a cardboard box or whatever. And so I'd already won the contest at Galax a couple times, and I entered. You get your money back at Galax if you enter the contest. So I wasn't going to go up there and not enter something. But I was already like playing semi-professionally. And so I just took her Dulcimer, and Kenny Smith agreed to back me up.
I remember,
which is why I'm sure that's the only reason why it sounded good. Like they were listening to Kenny play guitar, and I finished second, like in the world's largest mountain dulcimer competition. And then I was like, well, I can't accept that. And so I went back the next year and actually won. But and Kenny, of course, Kenny backed me up then too. So yeah.
And that's what launched the Ashby Frank Dulcimer Method course, and
available on Mel Bay everywhere.
Yeah, big
national
note,
tour
songbook.
You mentioned the Galax winning that. You also placed or won Merle Fest, at least.
I finished third, second, and first.
Okay,
in three, I think. Yeah, because I won a case, I won an A style, and then I won an F style flat iron. Yeah.
Very cool.
Do you ever do Winfield?
No, never competed there. I've played there during the contest, of course. I think I backed up. We backed up Michael Martin Murphy there one year. And I played with Josh Williams, and then I played with Chris Jones there once. And I think I played there with Special C one year. So yeah, I've played there 3 or 4 times, but never did the contest.
Yeah. No. It's a big contest as well.
Oh, absolutely.
I've never been to Galax, so I would. One of these days, I need to go out there just to see the spectacle that it is.
Mm-hmm.
And
they need
that it is.
Like they do the what is it? The if you win a Grammy, Emmy, Tony, EGOT,
yeah.
They put one together like a Winfield, Galax, Weezer, Merle Fest.
There's no vowels.
And then you also got those Spigma in there.
It's women good.
I like that Ashby's main problem with this is there's no vowel.
Wiggle wigs.
You can always buy a vowel.
You realize neither does Spigma. I just want except for one at the end. There's one.
There's 2. There's an I and an A.
There's no I. Is there?
SBB.
SBB
Oh, that's
GMA.
right. There's one. There's an A. Yeah.
There's an A at the end.
Uh,
I guess I
just throw a
lost.
letter in
Dang
there.
it.
You're all wrong.
Anyways,
Anyway, so contest, and then you became a professional musician. So like I said, I remember you were the talk of the town in Spigma and IBMA the year you put out this huge all-star record with all your heroes.
I'm sure. Yeah.
no, you were. It was a
big deal, though. I mean, it was a really good album.
A lot of national radio
And you
play.
got-
Yeah. It was pretty
good
cool
for you.
for a 16-year-old. My parents and Lou Reed, put all that together along with I recorded it at Greg Lux and then did some overdubs with some really awesome, like Stuart Duncan and Rob Ikes and Alan O'Brien here with Brent Truitt in Nashville. That was the first time I ever met Brent. Of course, he's now with the Steel Drivers and still has his studio and everything. But he's a Missouri guy, right?
Originally, yeah.
Yeah.
It might be Iowa. He's on that border up there, Missouri, Iowa.
Yeah,
I can't
up near where
remember.
Rhonda's
Yeah.
from. Yeah. But that was a kind of a big deal for me. And then as I mentioned, Lou Reed produced that, and he had given me lessons and started playing a little bit.
I
here
would
and
have
there with
never known
him.
the influence on your playing.
He's so cool. And then I started playing with Johnny and Jeanette Williams. That were from Danville or are from Danville, Virginia, just a little bit north of where I grew up. And then started playing with Gina and her band with Greg Luck and Beth Lawrence, and then started working with Marty Rabin after that. And of course, I had played.
Still
as I
talk
mentioned,
about you, by the way. Every once in a while, I talk to Marty, and he says, "You ever see old Ashby Frank?" And I says, "Every once in a while, I do."
Mhm.
He still remembers his good times. That was a great band.
That was
also
a
put
fun
together.
band.
That was a large band, if I remember right.
Well, at first it was me and Clay Jones and Scott Vestal and Glenn Harrell and Edgar Loudermilk. And then rapidly it became Clay left and Shane Blackwell joined, and Scott left and Patent Wages joined. And that was we were a band for about 2.5, 3 years there, and it was a lot of fun. All of us, very young and out on the road, really in a bus, doing that thing for the first time. It was a lot of fun. And I still talk to Glenn and Edgar, and I don't hear from Shane all that much anymore. But of course, we're all still buddies, and that was a good time for a few years. And that was the first time I got to play the Opry. Was with Marty, and I started working with Alicia Nugent after that. Whenever she was on Rounder and touring a lot, and me and Jennifer Strickland, another Missourian, and Andy Falco and Thomas Wyrot there for several years. And I started working with Special Consensus, and I was basically based out of Chicago with Greg there for about 3 years. And then, I don't even know what I did after that. What did I do?
You went on a cruise, didn't you?
Well, I did that for a couple of years, but I worked with Michael Cleveland after that. And I actually quit playing with Greg. I was just kind of overwhelmed by he's 300 years old, and he still loves doing it even now. I mean, this is
it's true.
I just got to participate on the 50th anniversary recording. So I think this year is maybe the 52nd.
That's wild
year for Greg being out on the road, and I just wanted to kind of do my own thing. I started working with Dayland Bradley, who doesn't really play full time as far as the road schedule. And I started during my time with Special C, Jim Van Cleve and Aaron McDarris and Randy Barnes and several of us here in Nashville started a group called the Nashville Brigade, and we played at the Station Inn every week, and we would kind of sub out. Whenever one of us wasn't here, whenever Aaron wasn't here, it was Thomas Wyrot or Scott Vestal or Ron Block would sub in. And whenever Daryl was the original guitar player there, and whenever he wasn't here, it was Josh Williams or Brendan Rickman. And kind of that thing started, and we put out an album that went kind of direct to Walmart. We didn't know that it was going to be marketed anything other than like a kind of a compilation of public domain tunes, and Rural Rhythm put it out, and then it got on satellite radio and just went crazy. And so I decided to kind of scale back. I was going to play with Dayland part time, and then start touring that band. Aaron couldn't do it at all because he had just taken the gig with Rhonda, so I got Terry Balcom to come in. So it was me and Daryl Webb and Terry Balcom and Randall Barnes and Steve Thomas and Jim Van Cleve. And y'all actually filled in, two of you.
Except for Jeremy. Jeremy wasn't good enough.
Right. Well, I would have had to not be there. So, but it kind of turned into a rotating thing. I started booking that, and then the flood here happened, and I had to, I pretty much lost everything I owned. I would have lived in a hotel for about 6 or 7 months if it weren't for Tom T. Hall, who offered me an apartment at his farm to live in for a few months. And so I was 27. Had to borrow a ton of money. I mean, the IBMA helped me out a bunch and some other things. But whenever you're 27 years old and have to rebuild your house without me, I still don't live in a floodplain. You know, the Nashville flood happened. It was just crazy. And I was still working a little bit with Alicia and back after that, you know, after I left her band, I was kind of freelancing with her and Dale Ann and doing the Nashville thing. That all happened, and I kind of was like, well, I need proven income to be able to finance all this stuff. So that's when I started working on cruise ships. And so I just needed a full-time paycheck. And I kind of turned into the country lounge singer on ships out of New Orleans and Galveston, Texas.
Which I know that's a strange circuitous path.
What are you saying?
A strange path you took to end up as a lounge singer on a cruise ship. But I saw charcuterie path. Lots of fruits and vegetables and meat and cheeses along the way. But it seemed like you came out with a lot of confidence as a lead singer, which you had done a lot of lead singing before. But I think it was just probably that nightly repetition of doing it and singing some of these old country
I was
tunes.
singing 3 or 4 hours a day for 6 days a week sometimes. Sometimes outside, sometimes inside. Sometimes I would open the main lounge show. It was a weird experience for somebody that grew up. You know, I went straight from nerdy, shy homeschool kid to playing with bluegrass bands on the road. And at that point I'd worked with Michael Cleveland. Actually, that was in between. Yes, I went from. No, that was before all that. I did work with Michael Cleveland after or during that time as well. That's the time lapse I just experienced. I just went through a portal.
Well,
I was in Mike's band
for the viewers at home.
Years.
We've got a graph on the screen. You can follow the graph.
Yeah, I've been fired by the best animals.
I was going to say, when was it that you sat back and said, "Man, I've worked for all these people. I must be the problem."
It's me. I'm the problem. It's Ashby. And I also worked with Dulcimer River Band during that time quite a bit. Whenever I'd fill in for Brandon and Andy. Pretty a lot during that era. So
you're a utility man.
Yeah, I guess so. No, it's always been, kind of just not as much a bad situation as that. I always get not burnout's the wrong word. Just looking for something different. Always kind of been that way, and never really had all that much of a bad departure with anyone. But that the cruise ship thing was so odd because, like I said, I'd never experienced anything like that. And I did go to college, but I was still living at home, and I started college when I was 15. So I was still, playing bluegrass music on the weekends and nights.
Very,
and so
very smart guy.
I'm just. It wasn't that good of a college, but
it was also homeschool.
It was in a trailer somewhere. No, I'm kidding. But yeah, so I'd never really been around people my own age or even younger. And at this point, I'm 29. I'd never been around, and especially people from all these different cultures. And cruise ship is entertaining. It's got such a stigma to it, and it really deserves it. It's corporate. There's such extremely talented people that work on there in different forms and facets, and their unique qualities are mostly ignored because it's just such a corporate thing to where you have to they care more about the length of a girl's skirt than they do about how well she dances in some instances. You know what I mean?
sure.
It's just that kind of like, but getting them, I was in the, upstairs, there were, I think on the first cruise ship I worked on, I think there were 11 Americans that worked on there. So upstairs, I kind of share an accent with people from Galveston or, Louisiana or whatever. And I was, felt, it was odd to, have a name tag on. And whenever I wasn't working, to be kind of, trying to act like I worked there, amongst, 3,500 people or however many people were on there. And then I go downstairs and I'd be one of 11 Americans out of 1,400 workers.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's just kind of opened my eyes to a lot of things, and just really, I kind of got to have my college experience when I was 29, working on a cruise. But I got to, hear all sorts of different kinds of music and influences, and I had to learn requestable stuff, which isn't something you really do in bluegrass. You learn, the canon. I hate it whenever people say, grounded in the canon of whatever. But I don't hate it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's kind of just a cliche thing at this point. But, learning, everything from pop songs to which, of course, the audience on there is, 40, 50-year-old folks, maybe some younger on shorter cruises. But lots of music from the 90s and 2000s at that
What
point.
was your
And
most requested? Was it Piano Man or Margaritaville?
Honestly, it's this song. It's Brown Eyed Girl. Brown Eyed Girl is the most requested cruise ship song.
I can see that.
Brown Eyed Girl. And of course, this is out of the Deep South now. So it was like Neon Moon was way up there. Of course, Margaritaville. And sometimes I actually would take over the piano bar on the piano bar guys' night off, because you made better tips if you sat in that circle in a much smaller room. Because, most of what I was doing was a larger lounge or whatever. And I would call it guitar or country night. And I would do 2 hours of George Strait. And of course, folks from Louisiana and Alabama and Arkansas and Mississippi love that. So I even learned some Louisiana specific swamp pop tunes that I had no idea that genre even really existed until I, was working on there. Like, you don't know no Wayne Toops. It's like, you don't know no Wet Willie. Like, well, okay.
I do now.
Yeah, yeah. So I would kind of adapted and was able to go, from a side man. Then, of course, I did sing lead with Nashville and the Special C. But it really kind of broadened my horizons quite a bit. And I really look back on it. I wish I would have done it whenever I was 20. Instead of, when I turned 30 on a cruise ship. And I was like,
you would have gotten in trouble.
You would have gotten in trouble.
How do you know I didn't whenever I was 30?
You were allowed back in the States. That's all I know.
You know what's funny about that? When Jason told me, he said Ashby's working on a cruise ship and he's doing this solo gig. And I was like, at first I'm like, nah. And then all of a sudden I'm like, you know who knows more obscure country? And
Yes.
I mean, nobody does. He's a younger guy, but seriously, you go down the road of 70s, 80s, even 60s, 70s, 80s. I'd say that's your wheelhouse, right? For the strongest.
And 90s.
Into
for
90s,
sure.
yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. 90s is, I still listen. I love, especially if the weather's nice, I go out and cycle. I go and listen to Mike Terry's Country Countdown that he does 80s and 90s. It's the prime country. It's on demand from Sirius XM.
Mm-hmm.
I love that. And I'll find something I haven't heard that in 15 years. That's such a great era. It was even that Alan Jackson song, they Gone Country.
Yep.
That was really when, the 60s and 70s singer-songwriter and pop and rock music, their kids, or many of them, became country songwriters. You had that was a great era of people, Skip Ewing, Matricia Berg, even, folks that were stars. Well, Skip was, but Mary Chapin Carpenter, Hal Ketchum, even Clint Black, that whole era of stuff was so good.
I think
And even
Connolly's
the
your
80s
best stuff. You left out Connolly.
That's way earlier.
I love John Connolly. Well, the first time I ever played the Opry, he was going to host a segment. It may have been the first time. I walked up to him. I think he was introducing us. I said, Mr. Connolly, it's an honor to meet you and to be back here with you. He's like, I'm your biggest fan. He said, I don't know about that, but you're definitely the youngest one.
Did you do an impression? Ashby's got a great Connolly
I should
impression.
have. Oh, God, I would have. No, I did not.
Are you like me though?
I love.
Is it more in retrospect that stuff was good? Because I remember in the '90s, I hated.
That's what I was going to say.
No, I loved it.
I
grew up.
And now I listen to it, I'm
listening
like,
to it.
this is really good.
Yeah, I think that's maybe that's what a lot of people do is whatever music is happening right now. Like I remember during the '80s, I was a pretty young guy, like late '80s, and that was coming out of the '70s stuff. So everybody that I was around was like, "Oh, this new country is garbage." Oh, and then all of a sudden we get to the '90s, and those same people that were complaining about the '80s country are all of a sudden like, "Man, I remember 10 years ago we had some decent music." And it seems like whatever that era is.
You're telling me 10 years from now I'm going to love Chrome?
Yeah, no, that's what I was going to say. There is a point though that has to stop.
That song is 25 years old.
I was going to say,
give it another 10 years. It's still got time.
I really don't have much past like 2005.
I did see Ashby made a comment, and I had tried to watch the Nashville New Year's Eve celebration with my kids, and I had to change the channel. It was just that bad. I'm like, kids, this isn't a good example.
I mean, Dirks was on, like, friends of mine, that top Dirks Bentley. They're not like, they're people that I know, and I know that they're great artists that can play and sing, and they're fantastic.
Yes.
That were on there, and they did a good job. But it was just like a cheese factory.
I didn't see any of those. I saw like one guy, and I'm like, kids, we got to go.
Oh, some of it was awful.
I don't know.
I'm not going to name names about the awful ones, but there were some.
It was
great,
very close to midnight.
And it was it was New Year's Eve.
No, I'm saying the ones that were really awful were like in that. My kids, I was trying to tune in to the
primest
countdown.
of eras.
Yeah. We don't need to
and
go
it was
down that
all
road.
so tuned and like canned and just.
I just gotta go.
Somebody likes it.
We're getting old, Ashby, and I think this
It's
is
always been this way.
I know, but this is what I'm trying to get in. Is I have come to realize. I don't know. I was the worst at this. I was probably the worst pop music critic. Whatever is happening is.
Except you bought an Ace of Base CD. When it came out.
That was called.
I mean, what's wrong with you?
That's called rebellion.
I saw the sign.
That's called rebellion right there.
Crash Test Dummies.
Yeah, get your album when you know your. Anyway, my point to this is
like everybody was. Go ahead. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
My point to this was at some point, all the music, even some of the worst pop stuff that I remember hearing, even in the '90s, country music, even. I listen to it now and I go, you know what? It was kind of neat.
Some of it I like because it sucks.
Maybe
some of it I just like.
Maybe I liked it because it was that
What were
bad.
we wrong with Achy Breaky Heart?
But that one's one that
No.
never crept back into my.
No.
I wish I could hear that song again.
But I mean, it was just a part of it. Also, is that the ones that were huge hits were the ones, the up tempo party anthems that they had to do.
Sure.
I mean, I'm a huge Garth Brooks fan and always have been. I know so many bluegrass musicians like that's when country didn't, lost.
I bought
Just
all
because
the
he
CDs.
had pyrotechnics and did the whole flying and everything that honestly I think a lot of it's like Jimmy Martin said, the things they're holding, what is it, bluegrass music back is jealousy and stupidity. Garth Brooks, like some of his he was so huge worldwide, but some of his minor hits and even the stuff that he did, the two Newgrass covers that he did, it was all so well done and well produced. And some of his slower song, his cover of Billy Joel's Shameless and the Red Strokes and songs like just Standing Outside the Fire and all these great call them whatever you want to, but like that's good music and it endures and it really stands the test of time. And so does like music of that era, from Diamond Rio, from Winona or the Judds, from like I mentioned Hal Ketchum, Mary Chapin Carpenter. I got to see Mary Chapin at Telluride live for the first time I ever got to see her live a couple of years ago when we were playing, and she just reeled off hit after hit after hit after hit after hit, and songs that I had almost forgotten. And it was just, I'm a huge Trisha Yearwood fan too, and some of her records are slower songs. Think like Walk Away Joe. Tracks like that, just phenomenal. That you can't really. They've stood up from that era to me anyway. So I don't know.
So John, you're wrong.
Cruise ships.
I think again, this goes back to what I saw in Ashby when I first met him, which was a more acceptance of overall music.
Appreciation.
And seriously, this is, and I hope this comes off as a compliment because it's meant as such. When I first met you, I think I know I was in part of that deal where I've got these like blinders on. There's like this region of bluegrass that's good, and everything outside that box is horrible. And we had this, there's a lot of us that had this kind of weird blinders on. And I remember hanging out with Ashby and he'd go, well, and he'd start talking about old time music. I was a very anti old time music person. And he's going to like make some references to some things that I didn't get. And then I go, oh, well, I kind of see what he's talking about a little bit there. And, even some of the country stuff. Now, again, I just think he was better at that than I was.
Isn't that just human nature though? I mean, to kind of, something you're not maybe as familiar with to initially want to reject it.
Well, that's been my argument for music for everybody. I've complained this about music. What people like and what they don't like is based off of education. If they knew more about music in general, the art that it takes to make it, they'd have a better, way to push music forward, I think, in general. If people understood.
I only had that class in college called music appreciation class that introduced people to various
no
forms
longer
of music.
in existence. I hear you.
I don't know, guys. Have you listened to recent country radio, though?
I agree. That's bad.
I agree with everything you guys are saying.
Pretty bad. But there's so much great music under the country umbrella being recorded and produced right now. I mean, even, like I mentioned, Zach comes from a bluegrass background, Zach Top, and he's just absolutely destroying it right now. But even, Ella Langley's putting out some good stuff. She's got a great voice. And even in the more Americana side of things, with Tyler Childers and, Sierra Farrell, and it's still a
big
good
umbrella
and nuanced. It's just as things get more and more commercialized, it gets less and less artsy.
Yeah, I think
that's it. It's turned into
the people in charge have figured out how to the formula. This formula works. Keep every song that this artist does needs to be the same format and same subject matter and the same twang to it, and a lot of.
And then Chris Stapleton comes along, and then they're trying to find the next one of him. Same happened in pop music with Adele. Yeah. It was all this, teeny bopper. We're not doing sad songs with nuanced singer songwriters, and she was just so undeniable at such a young age, and didn't look the part. Her songs didn't sound the part, but you couldn't. I mean, that record just blew the doors off. Same with Traveler for Chris, and you can ad test things and generic, and in general, I mean, obviously it works.
It works.
I mean, they have to make money. They have jobs, and their job is to sell things. Their job isn't to art things. So there's a delicate balance there, but in this country, we've gotten so just plastic with so much. But you go back to the 80s, you only remember the good stuff.
That's the whole deal.
You go 80s and 90s. I mean, there was so much cheese, and
you're
not
again some of that I love. Just on its own merit, being cheesy. What really? I know we can make a whole podcast about music in general, but what bugs me more right now, if I listen to pop country music, is the shoehorning in somebody that shouldn't fit in it, like the whole. I am a hip hop.
Are you the gatekeeper now?
No, I'm just saying they use it as their uniqueness in this genre. Like it's a hip hop artist that didn't really do anything in hip hop, but they're shooing them this because they're cooler as a country artist. If I put on a cowboy hat, then I'm cool.
30,000 people show up to listen to it. Though.
Well, that's because that's my problem. I think it's because it's what do you call it? The fact that it's an oddity. It's a carnival show at that point. Because if they were at a hip hop festival, they'd be just another good hip hop artist. But they're not that good. But they're good because they're country and they're unique. That's what frustrates me.
I can see a point to that, but I don't know. I don't know if I told. Here's what I've come to the conclusion. Oh, well, you're welcome for this, by the way, everybody. I hope you all enjoy this.
Thanks for being our guest. Now, please listen.
I have this opinion that these are very, very talented people. All of them. Even the ones we were recently talking about, some artists.
Hypothesize that you're wrong.
No,
I think they're made famous because
it takes talent to be an entertainer.
That's what I said. Let me finish my statement. We were recently talking about an artist. We searched for material to listen to, and I could not find a single one of the songs that I'm like, this is good. But then I start looking deeper into the catalog, and you can go and find some stuff. And it's like, that's well done. That is actually really, and my biggest one that kind of opened my eyes to this was Lady Gaga. And I know this is way bouncing out of left field here, but I saw some videos of her in college, and that's when I recognized real quick that this is a very talented singer, a very talented songwriter, and a musician that was really good, that also learned really fast that this is a marketing game. And that's how music is done. We market a persona, a style, something to get behind and create a fan base that wants to live that world. And I think that's what we have in pop country. Right now we have a lot of the bro country type characters, but there's some talented singers in there, and there's some talented entertainers.
Absolutely. It's country music entertainment. It's like, world wrestling entertainment. I mean, it's
so they're not
there's
real
nothing wrong
musicians,
with
they're
that.
just acting like them.
But
no, I mean, it takes real skill to do fake wrestling. I mean, no, I'm not saying it.
I know exactly what you're saying,
but like it's, and I did put something on Threads or Facebook, the other day. I think it was on Threads about, how that show, the New Year's Eve show, wasn't anywhere near proving the talent and depth of musicians. People look at Nashville and they make fun of it now. So they just think of Broadway and what they see on TV and what they hear on the radio. There's so much great in-depth stuff that doesn't require heavy listening. It doesn't require deep diving to enjoy, and it's so overlooked. But I mean, it's the entertainment business, and that doesn't mean. I always hear people say, well, what they compare success as far as being famous to actually paying your bills and having a comfortable life. Both of those are very acceptable. You don't have to be making millions of dollars playing music to be a successful, even an artist or entertainer.
I agree.
It's the scale of what you want to do. And look at someone like Taylor Swift, who's an extremely talented writer and just knew exactly what she wanted to do and use social media to do it in many ways. And of course, her songs are, tell the story of a whole generation of people that are younger than me. But she did it. And Garth Brooks in the 90s is the same thing. He tapped into this market, and it doesn't diminish them as an artist or a musician at all. But there's a big difference between trying to be a brand, a walking brand. I mean, think of Reba McEntire. She's gone from movies and music and TV back and forth, and like she can't go anywhere without her face is a emblem. Same with Dolly Parton or Kenny Chesney, or that's a decision you make, and there aren't a lot of musicians that are equipped to do that, or B able to do that.
I'm sorry. I don't mean to interrupt this. Jason's battery went dead in his earphones.
He's been trying to get Trent's attention to get new batteries, so he threw one at Trent.
Hey, attention, Trent.
Trent's looking around. See where these batteries are falling
Is it
out
on
of the sky.
charcuterie?
He just launched a battery at Trent.
Trent's looking up for
the room.
The battery cloud.
We just lost a camera too.
I think it's important to
Can I get some
put this into
batteries?
perspective. Jason's wondering what we've been talking about for the last few minutes because he can't hear anything. But
Charcuterie,
basically,
I think.
Ashby's been saying, and I'll translate for Jason or pass it on to him. He's been saying you're wrong about everything you've ever said, Jason. You're not a very good bass player, and there's more talented people in country than
That's what he said.
What, Ashby? I always
How do we talk about Leanne Womack? Do you think she'd be our friend?
Goodness. Let's talk about Leanne Womack.
Can you make her our friend?
I don't know, but she's a very nice person.
She's
And speaking of Leanne Womack, I don't want to say she sounds like her. She's obviously extremely influenced by her. May Estes right now is just, he should be the biggest thing going in country music, especially right alongside Zach and everything. She's from Arkansas, and I've gotten to work with her a little bit here in town, but like her writing and her vocals are just unparalleled. And so there is great, and even, my buddy Jaylee, Jaylee Roberts is just writing and singing great. I mean, she's in a bluegrass band. She's in Sister Sadie, but she's just it exists. It's just not. I prefer it in the unpasteurized, unprocessed form.
But the masses have spoken. I mean, that's what, like John's
absolutely
saying. With Lady Gaga, you go back into the catalog, the non-popular songs, you see all the talent, but it's the ones that people want that you have to give them.
And that's cool.
And that goes back to the cruise ship where they're going to request Brown Eyed Girl every night and give the people what they want.
I know some people that used to stop at Chipotle every time that they had an opportunity to eat.
It used to be good. And we had free burrito coupons.
But you realize we had I guess now we have to tell the story. You know why we had that so many times, right?
I mean, besides it being really good.
There was an opening for a Chipotle here in Springfield, Missouri. We went there the day before it was going to open, and we talked to the district manager and said, "Hey, we love Chipotle. I'm glad they're opening one here." And we said, "We're in a traveling bluegrass band." And the guy goes, "Are you guys doing anything tomorrow?" And we're like, "No." And he's like, "You want to play for our opening?" And he said, "Yeah." And he gave us $1,500 worth of Chipotle burrito.
It was like 150 burritos.
Free burritos.
We got over 100 something burritos for free.
Yeah, of course.
You might be the only bluegrass band that's ever been paid in burritos.
That's a badge I will wear proudly.
Yeah, exactly.
I know.
Could be paid in worse things.
You know what? You know what? The best.
You need some T-shirts that say the Chapmans will work for burritos.
It's coming now. I love it. The best part, I wish we'd have kept at least a couple of those certificates. They were
nice.
Gold foiled and had all kinds of coolness to them.
You couldn't photocopy them.
Kyle Cantrell's wife used to be associated with Chick-fil-A somehow, so there was always a trail of Chick-fil-A free sandwiches whenever she'd be at places, like it was little cards. Yeah,
I love it.
kind of miss those.
We totally derailed. We got into some stuff, but it actually kind of brings us into the next point of Ashby's career, which has become something that I didn't see coming, which is the songwriting and really spending a lot of time on the backside. I mean, I saw it to a degree, but when I saw you were mostly doing sidemen projects. And then it turned into, like you said, you became the lead singer of Nashville, and it kind of, went there. But now you're sitting in massive, real writing sessions and doing the Nashville writing thing. How'd that all get started for you?
Mostly the first few cuts that I had, I kind of awkwardly shared with some of my favorite singers that were friends of mine. Like Junior Sisk was really the first artist to cut anything of mine that I wrote solo. And I still struggle with, I don't really do the Nashville, 10 and 2 thing all that much, but I do write with my buddies, and have on my next record, I actually have a co-write with Jack McKeon, McKeon. I can't pronounce his name. I know him really well. Really, really well.
Just don't use the last name.
How do you pronounce anyway, I hope he sees this.
He's not watching this. Nobody is watching this podcast, so don't worry.
All right. McKeon.
Give it one more shot. Very Celtic.
Give it one more shot.
It is Celtic. But no, I have a song. I think it's actually going to be the title track for my next record, and he's kind of bluegrass-ish, but he's in the Americana world. And also, I wrote one with my buddy Mason Vi. That's going to be on this next record. But I've had a little bit of luck with bluegrass artists recording some of my stuff, and I started recording my own stuff. And I am kind of trying to find. Of course, I wrote all that Darrell Brothers stuff with my buddy Brandon Bostic, and he and I still collaborate a lot. And I record down at his place quite a bit. So I'm doing the writing thing, and I'm doing some shows of my own. In the last few years, I've kind of got off track there, but I've been working with Jerry Douglas with the Earls of Leicester. This past year, I got to do some stuff with Steve Earle and Sean Camp, and was performing with technically still a member of a band that we still talk. There was never any breakup. There was never any fight. We just all got different gigs.
With one another, my favorite singers in the world.
Mountain Heart.
Mountain Heart.
It's still a band, and we have a record that's in the can that I'm really, really proud of. That Josh wrote most of that record, and Josh is out on the road with Winona now, and Seth's out on the road with an upstart singer named Post Malone, and Matt Menifee's been out on the road with Mumford and Sons for both of them have been, or all three of them have been gone for the last year and a half. So we haven't really been doing any shows, but it's just doing all those things. I'm so proud of all the people that I get to work with, and sign with Mountain Home. I talked about doing a solo record. That's such an odd term. Do people say that in any other genre? Maybe jazz.
I think they still do.
Yeah, but you wouldn't say I'm going to make a solo album like in any other.
I think
I'm gonna do a
solo
solo orchestral.
I think you only do it if you're normally in a band, and then you.
I guess so.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I talked about that for years and accumulated songs and this and that, but it really took COVID. This is the first time I'd ever really been home for an extended period of time in my entire adult life.
Mm-hmm.
And it took that time. And Brandon Bostic, I think he'd had a couple margaritas. He called me. I was like, "Hey, you got some really good songs. A lot of really good players. It'll do. That'll come and play or do their parts remotely or whatever. However, we're going to do this. And you're an idiot if you don't make a record." He's like, "I have a recording studio." Like, you're an idiot if you don't use this time to make an album. And so I did. And that's really whenever I started doing my own.
To drum up business for your recording studio.
Yeah.
Just
you'd be
right.
Call your
Hey,
friends come here.
You'd be a moron
Get half
if you
drunk
didn't.
and call your friends and say you're stupid.
Well, we got another one on the books for January 5th.
But no, he really, and honestly, right before COVID happened, I was working with Jerry with the Earls. He was like, "Why don't you make a record?" I was like, "Well, I'm trying." He's like, "That's not going to work." He's like, "You got a bunch of friends that, you need to make sure and, call in any favors before they're too old to sound good on a record." Oh, that's literally what he told me. I was
himself, or what was that?
Yes.
Hello.
So, so that turned, and both of those things kind of spurred me into doing that. And I wound up making a huge production of it and getting all these different folks that I'd worked with over the years. And from every, Thomas Wyrot, I worked with Alicia, 15 years before or whatever that was.
Never heard of him.
No, he lives like 3.5 miles from me. And I see him like once every 2 years, 3 years maybe. And Jim Van Cleve, Jeremy Abshire, Deanie Richardson, Melanie Cannon, Ronnie Bowman, John Cowan, Jerry Douglas, Gavin Largett, all these, Seth Taylor and Matt and Travis and Josh from Mountain Heart. So all these different kind of groups, and I'm honored to still get to work with many of them. And but they were kind enough to come in and do that. And then I signed with Mountain Home. After that, kind of didn't really pitch it around all that much. I knew John and Ty was still over there at that time. And just felt really comfortable with them, and had never done a record deal on my own at all before. And it's worked out really, really well since then. So I think the first track came out in 23 maybe, or 22. I can look somewhere. There's a plaque. Is my first number one as a singer. There's a plaque around here somewhere. But that was really special to especially get that encouragement. And then all my buddies come together and help me. And I recorded some funny songs. I hate the term novelty. What is a novelty? If it's not about
It's something that stands
romance,
out.
it's not real art.
I believe
Like,
those are the little ice cream treats that you get at a freezer novelties.
yeah, I write the songs of the future.
So Mountain Twerker, where would you place that?
That is the most successful song I've ever written. And it still comes back
not
around.
a novelty.
That is not a novelty. That's high North Carolina art. I believe one day I'm going to get the Order of the Longleaf Pine, but just because of that song. No, that whole Darrell Brothers era, like that song we wrote it as a joke. And John Boy, I sent it to Cindy Balcom, and she played it for John Boy and Billy, who are like one of the largest syndicated radio morning shows in the South, or actually probably in the country. I don't know. And they played it, and it just like blew up. And so we thought that we had to make a video, and that got even more ridiculous. We had to come up with a band name. We were going to be Uncle Daddy at first, and then that was already taken.
Uncle Daddy's already taken.
Yes, it was. And so then we just came up with the Darrell Brothers on the fly, and then it turned into us making a whole EP worth of stuff and several videos. And that Mountain Twerker video specifically, it got picked up by a guy, Big Daddy Leo, I think is his name.
Uncle Daddy.
Something like that. Uncle Daddy Leo. He put it on, he did a reaction video kind of to it on TikTok like 2 years ago, and it got like another 6 million views. Like, it's crazy. It's the song that will never.
Our audience does not know what we're talking about right now, so
it's
they
about
need
to get another 5 million views thanks to this podcast.
Yeah, you got to go check out Mountain Twerker. It was a very well done video. I got a very large kick out of it, Ashby. I thought it was fantastic.
Brandon and I were bowling the night that the day after it came out, and we thought, oh, this will get like a lot of haters from Bluegrass. We'll comment on it and share it and talk about how awful it is and how bluegrass music's being ruined. And in fact, one very prominent banjo player did that on Twitter. I'm not naming names there either. But,
Bill Chapman.
Bill Chapman.
It was not Bill. Bill would never do that.
His TikTok is all love.
John, can you tell me how to turn this iPhone on?
What's a TikTok?
We were bowling and watching this, and all of a sudden it just started like going from like the hundreds to the thousands to the tens of thousands. And then YouTube, like we looked, and Brandon looked at me and said, man, I just clicked on the charts. They had the music video chart on you could see what was the most trending, and we were like number 3 behind Katy Perry. And like we had gotten 200,000 views in like a day or something, and which in the grand scheme of things, streaming billions is where you count things now, I guess, or tens of millions. But back then, it's been a long time ago. But they throttled it. They thought we were using they were like, this is an unknown account that's never uploaded a video before. And it's these 2 guys like in overalls singing about their grandma twerking. And I think they thought we were using so just like it was going like tens of thousands, and then it just stopped. And so they had to have like throttled it. And then it came back later and wound up, I think, on YouTube. Now they say that we can't run ads on it because it's vulgar. I was like, y'all know what else is on your platform that's monetized? I think you have to get like over so many thousand streams in a day to appeal it or whatever. I don't care. But anyway, we made off of, the probably cross platform between Facebook and YouTube and all the different, people ripped it off. Tons of people ripped it off, and it would have like 2 million views on Facebook before we would even notice it. And of course, people are tagging me. And anyway, but it was huge. It's had millions of views across all the different platforms. But it was really the oddest thing to ever happen. You pour yourself into writing songs for people, and you get. I've been on the road and I've stayed in every Super 8 in America. It's like. And this is 15 years ago, I guess. So, or there, yeah. So anyway, that was the oddest thing. We wound up doing a podcast that no one ever heard.
What are you looking at us like that when you say that?
What are you trying to say?
You guys know what I'm talking about, right?
This is gonna be this is gonna be like all the other videos Ashby's been on. It'll never be even broadcast. Forget about it.
How dare you, sir?
But anyway, no, and back to if you want to see that, make an idiot out of myself.
It was a fine job.
Yeah,
you did a fine job making an idiot out of yourself. I am very proud of you.
Paid off.
It made me. I think I called you not long after that, and I was like, Ashby, You finally got all of my respect.
I called him and said, you finally lost the last bit of respect.
I don't have his phone number.
Oh, but it has been awesome to watch you continue to grow as a musician. Now
It has been a charcuterie tour. Charcuterie.
shut it. Just shut it.
When does this come out?
It doesn't.
Who knows?
We'll let you know.
Between now and
Hope that
forever.
don't come out. Shut that door back there. Hear them kids.
No, it's been good to continue to see you grow as a musician and a talent. Not just, like I said, it was that kid that played mandolin sometimes and hung out, and we got to be goofy, and we did stupid stuff together. And
We did lots of stupid stuff.
Yes.
I don't find any joy in your success, as John does, so I'm sorry.
What about the paper airplanes? You remember the chandelier? We almost got kicked out of the,
So many
the
IBMAs.
Renaissance Hotel. No, that was the Galt House.
Yeah, it's Gold House.
We almost got it was the Galt. We almost got kicked out for throwing paper
Every
airplanes
year
in
we
the
almost got
chandelier.
kicked out of the golf house.
There's so many things we should have gotten.
Why
kicked
is
out
it
from.
that we were always involved in that kind of stuff?
It was
We
the
were-
age we were at, and
And the hubris. We thought we were cool.
Hey, Chris Thiele was there for like half of it.
Yeah.
We can't beat ourselves
Yeah.
up over
was
this. The
in the
most
middle of
brilliant musician that's ever walked the face of the earth.
Says another mandolin player again. Here we go.
I'll fight you on it. Prove me wrong.
But no, the reason why I was asking when this actually comes out is I'm about to get Bluegrass canceled again.
Oh, can't wait. This will be
my next-
after that, probably.
My next single, this is breaking news here. I haven't talked about this on any.
But this
any
again will come out
platform
after.
anywhere.
This will come out after.
Right.
So it's
not
not
really
breaking
breaking
news.
now.
It's recapping.
Breaking. Ashby is in trouble once more for.
Yes. I've included on my upcoming album, which it's going to be a single, which means that it'll go straight to streaming and no Bluegrass Radio will touch any of it. I've done a cover of the Foo Fighters, The Pretender.
Dang right you did.
And it's heavy. Tony Kreisman has been playing drums on this current record. Josh Hunt played on my last one, and he still plays whenever I do live shows. Josh does most of them. In fact, I have one coming up March 5th at the Station Inn in Nashville. If anyone wants to, this might be after that. So
If you were already there.
2026.
Give us an actual date so we make sure. I want people showing up at the station in 2030.
Yeah, March 5th, 2026. Yes. I think that's a Thursday night. But anyway, no, it's Tony Kreisman. He thought I was joking whenever I said, well, we're going to do this. I included it in the batch of songs. He's like, yeah, man, killer. He's like, I actually played on a karaoke track for that. I know all the hits. And I was like, seriously? He's like, yeah. I was like, well, we're doing it. And so it's like heavily, it's banjo driven. It is all acoustic. There might be one or two. I don't know. Seth brought a baritone electric to that session. There may be like one or two, like just hits of that on there, but it's an all acoustic cover of the Foo Fighters Pretender. And, it's really, really cool. And it's so different from anything that I've ever done. And so I'm kind of excited for that, but, Bluegrass people are going to, I'm hoping that the rage bait, makes it viral.
I think, the Billy Strings thing and the Molly Tuttle, that's kind of opened up the gate now for this type of acceptance.
Well,
Besides, who
honestly,
doesn't love Dave
I've
Grohl?
been a big Dave Grohl and Foo Fighters fan.
Yeah.
I've been a Dave Grohl fan since Nirvana. But like, I've always loved that song. And Seth and I were riding down the road, going to a Mountain Heart gig, and was like, "Can we pull this off?" He's like, "Matt can pull anything off." I was like, "Well, you can." Seth can play anything, and he's just the best. And so
He's all right.
we
if you
tried
like
it, and
good
it's.
stuff.
If you like, people that can go from playing with Sarah Jarose to playing with Post Malone.
Yeah. You might like him.
Nothing against Post Malone, but
No.
I mean, he's just like,
He can do anything.
Seth can do anything. So we did it. It's really, really cool. I'm so excited to put it out. And especially after, my current single is a Jimmy Martin cover. So I'm going from Jimmy Martin to Foo Fighters.
I love it.
It shows the
honestly,
depth of Ashby.
well, the depth of maybe what I listen to. I don't know about the achievement side of it or not, but streaming is so huge now for trying to find new audiences, and get people to listen to your stuff, and covers are a big part of that when you play bluegrass music. And that some people look down at that. I mean, I don't see any problem,
No,
with that at all.
Unless you're playing the Eagles, because they're not allowed to play the Eagles. They will cancel you. You're not allowed to do it. So
I love the Eagles.
I do too, but you're not allowed to put
they're
it.
Very litigious.
They will sue you, and you cannot put it out. YouTube will shut you down if you do a cover of the Eagles. So, in case you didn't know,
how is that possible?
It's possible. Just trust me, it is totally possible.
Don't try it.
For you that are out there at home. We're in
YouTube parole for the next 5 years because we did one.
Don Henley,
we're in big trouble.
Don Henley sent us a letter.
But if you created it,
doesn't matter.
And
it's one of their songs. He comes and knocks on your door.
Yeah, literally, Don Henley will walk in and pound your door down and say, "Do not do this
Cease
anymore."
And desist.
yeah, but I mean, you can cover anyone and put it out on an album.
Not on YouTube.
You have to get permission. Technically, you have to get permission from the writer, even on an album, to release it.
Yeah. But anyway.
Yeah.
But isn't it called a compulsory license?
Yeah.
Just trust me, everybody has been shut down for Eagles material.
Well, maybe I'll get sued by Dave Grohl, and that'll be the best thing that ever happened.
It'll put you on the map. It helped Beato talking about the Eagles.
Rick Beato, he talked about it. One thing I had to say, I when you said this, I said, who doesn't love Dave? If there's anybody who loves music and any genre, it's Dave Grohl. I'm sorry. That dude loves music, and you watch him when he's got fans and how he treats his entire audience. I'm a huge fan. I agree with you. I'm down. I bet you get support. If he sees it, I guarantee you get support of it. So
it's so weird because I made a bluegrass version of it, but I had to take it down a whole step. I couldn't scream that high. Like I'm the guy that sings tenor in a bluegrass band. And can't.
That's funny. Well, we probably have got to start wrapping this up. As much fun as it is to catch
conversation, and just like Ashby, my history with Ashby, we'll have a long conversation and not talk for another 2 years.
That's about right.
Yeah.
So let's keep that up.
I hope that's the case. The appropriate time period.
Ouch.
It's always been that way.
Well,
maybe next time I'll actually buy a ring light or something. I won't look like I'm getting interrogated.
Where were you on
here?
January 6th? Yeah. We're recording this on
right
January
here.
6th.
We're recording this on. That's the joke.
Yes. When are you coming here? That's when we got to hang out. By the way,
I don't know.
Ashby Frank, is also a honorary Uncle Rico's Time Machine musician. Once played that, nobody cares or knows what we're talking about, but Ashby does.
I don't think he
that
does.
was the first time I think I ever picked up an electric mandolin. Was on stage.
Good times.
No better time.
It was good times. No, you have to come back. We'll do some stuff in here, and we can continue. There's more story to Ashby than what we talked about.
Yeah, we barely scratched the Ashby surface.
And by the way, one thing that we didn't cover that absolutely needs to be covered.
Bluegrass man of mystery.
Yes. How many times have you got your name correctly put on your Starbucks cup? That's the real question.
It's gotten to the point where you just post photos when they do it right anymore.
It's only when I use the app. Same with Sonic. That was the best one was Sonic because I spelled it. I was in Richmond, Kentucky. Well, how do you spell? I spelled. I said ASHBY, and it came out shabby. SHABY.
He's dyslexic.
I'm dyslexic. I get it, but like, that's not really how that works.
Hey, not too shabby.
Stay classy, Wendy.
Sonic.
Oh, Sonic. Sorry.
Sonic. Yeah.
Anyway. I love it. That's good. Anyway,
all right,
we're done. We're out of here, Ashby.
We love you, Ashby. You're the best.
Yeah.
Love you guys.
You're a good man.
Yep. We shall talk soon. Thank you very much.
All right.
Thanks for your time. We'll see you.
Okay. That was a podcast, guys.
There it was.
Jeremy, have you been on a vacation lately?
It was me. We talked about this in the intro.
Oh.
Anyway, so it was good to have Ashby on the show. I forgot about, there's a few of those bands that he mentioned that I forgot entirely that he had played with.
I'm not, what, me? I'm not doing anything.
The listening viewers, Jason is holding a Dr. Pepper can up again. He will not give up until he gets at least a free Dr. Pepper from the Dr. Pepper
cream
Royal
soda.
Caribbean Cruise.
0 sugar.
I'm going to
0
mail him a
calories
case
and
and
all
say,
the cream.
from the folks at Dr. Pepper, you are now sponsored.
Then he'll shut up.
Could you please quit holding up our cans? It's hurting sales.
Excuse me, sir.
Folks, thanks for tuning in for another podcast of the Chapmans talking about nonsense with our guest,
Oh,
Ashby
yeah, and
Frank.
Ashby Frank.
Oh yeah, Ashby Frank was on here.
5 Hour Energy and Dr. Pepper do not sponsor this show.
Freestyle machines. You guys are all
Sure.
weird. I'm done.
If you like this sort of thing, be sure to subscribe to our podcast
Please do.
everywhere you go. Tell your friends.
We want
Rate
Jeremy
us,
not to be
review
the
us.
only one that listens to this.
Yeah, I don't listen to it.
Well,
I've never heard it.
At least we're getting one view.
Anyway, until next time.
That's where the music starts. Hey, you wake. I can't bake a bake. Bet somebody with a little first so I can't make my sake. The music alone is what makes this podcast work.
Take me away.
The Acoustic Shop knows people. Handmade by Trent Pruitt, Hinkley Hinkleston, and Jason Chapman for the Acoustic Shop.
Theme song written and performed by Ofer Koren.
And please remember to rate and review us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts.